Hello everyone, you ready for another adventure? It's me, Woki, and I'm back with another fake Grand Order video. Would you look at the time? It is currently April 29th, as is the time of this video is being recorded, which means it's close to the end of April, which means it's time to start looking at what's going to be coming up in the upcoming month. If you want to know how that's possible, the NA version of the game is 2 years behind on the JP version, which gives us a pretty good overview about what's going to be happening with some wiggle room in there, which I'll talk about when I talk about things that I hope are going to be happening for the upcoming month of May. And that's going to be today's video. I hope you like it. If you do, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. And let's get into it. So, the current overview of what's currently going on in the game. Alias Karakuri Castle is currently going on. The Ordeal Call pre-release campaign is still going on. Pilgrimage Festival is around for a couple more days. And, like I said, today is the 29th, and they actually announced Advanced Quest Part 15, so it's no longer a future event. It's actually happening, and it's going to be up, depending, either it's already up by the time you see this video, or it's going to be coming up during day roll when it comes up on for today. So, that's nice. As you can see here, the ending dates for these two events are going to be important, and I'll talk about it pretty soon. But let's go and talk about the things that I hope are going to be happening. So, I always gotta mention this just because it helps explains a lot. So if you look at May, you'll notice that in Japan they had Karakuri, Alias Castle, and a lot of things that we're currently doing. Why is it like that? Well, the reason is because in the JP version of the game, their anniversary is closer to the end of July, but ours always happens on the week of Anime Expo, the Saturday, which this year it's going to be the 5th. So therefore, everything that you see here has to happen. Everything you see before 8th anniversary has to happen that much sooner, which means everything gets pushed up a little bit. Like, for example, this Mystic Eye Symphony event is actually happening on June, like I believe early June, and that's how we end up here. So we have to actually look at June to see what's going to be coming up in May for us, which is very silly. But the first thing we're going to look at is something that I've been looking at for an unfortunate amount of videos, the Spring New Masters Aid campaign. This was supposed to come out way sooner. So in JP it happened in March. For us, it hasn't happened yet. If you want to know how long it's taken for them to release the Spring New Masters Aid campaign, JP has already had their new one for 2025 in the time it's taken for us to get this one. So what happens in here? I've explained it at least 3 different times, but I will quickly go through it. There's a retweet campaign that will feature 12 Saint Quartz, 5 tickets of rare mana prisms, 100 mana prisms, 5 golden apples, 5 silver apples, and 5 million QP. And there'll be 3 daily login bonuses, which feature Saint Quartz and tickets on the first one, a golden apple, a bunch of silver foe, and Saint Quartz on the second. And on the third one, a buttload of golden apples and a lot of Saint Quartz. Wouldn't it have been nice to have all these golden apples before a lotto? I think it would have. And then limited time master missions, which again feature more tickets, more Saint Quartz, some 5 EXP, another golden apple, some QP, some friend points, and a special reward craft essence, along with friend point bonus times 2, something for returning players, a summon banner that features Fate Stay Night people, and a Stolfo, which also features Merlin, who's technically not a Fate Stay Night person. Technically speaking, he isn't. He wasn't in Fate Stay Night, unless you count him helping out Artoria as something to be like, oh yeah, he was there in the background. But anyway, yeah, and then also game updates including max limit +3 of friend points, and I don't know why this event hasn't happened here. It's weird. It's very weird that they're holding it off. I'm only assuming. At this point, I thought that they were going to save it for a dead period in the upcoming previous 2 months, and now this is the 3rd time I've gone on a video and said, maybe this time. I don't know anymore. It should have come out already. It's very bad that it hasn't released yet, and they've never given us a reason why. I would be very understanding if they gave us a reason why. They are very good at telling us what certain events. The reason I know that the Symphony Eyes event is happening when it's happening is because they told us in a roadmap. I don't understand why they're waiting so long for this one, especially because now people are leaving comments in videos saying, where's the Spring New Aid Master campaign? On their Twitter, there's occasionally a couple people asking there, and some of the comments and videos, I see those all the time, and it's silly that it hasn't come out, especially because it really sucks for the people who are getting ready to summon for Merlin, is that they've had to now suffer through not potentially not summoning as much as they want for Tiamat or Draco or any of the upcoming units that we know about, such as Durga, who's going to be coming up. They can't summon on this because they're waiting for Merlin. And I know it sounds weird to say, like, okay, but who's saving for Merlin? I know, because people tell me. They leave comments and they tell me, I have this much such and such Saint Quartz specifically for Merlin because I like Merlin and I want Merlin. And I've been waiting this long for him to show up, and it's weird. Like, out of all the banners to randomly show up later, why this one? So, I don't know. Hopefully it's this month. If it's not this month, I will be back next month. But we only have about 2 months left of spring before they have to change the name of the goddamn campaign and change it to Summer New Master 8 campaign. So, expect it soon. They're running out of spring. I'll always be mentioning that one. I will not forget it until they finally do it. Other things, this hasn't happened yet. The Nerofest Battle in New York Summoning Campaign, which should happen any day now, any time now. This is just going to be a banner that features Nero, Bride Nero, Summer Nero, Nikola Tesla, and Thomas Edison. That's all you really need to know about it, nothing else. Technically, Karakuri is the Nerofest for this year. They just don't call it that. And Advanced Quest Part 15 already announced. So, now we go into June. Ordeal Call and a lot of stuff around Paper Moon are going to be the main events that are going to be happening in this month. I will now talk about them. So, Ordeal Call, when should it be released? On JP, Ordeal Call released right when this pre-release campaign ended, which is May 7th. And if you take a look at when Karakuri Castle ends, it's on May 7th. So that's when I expect this one to come out. I'm going to very quickly talk about this campaign. The reason being is that I tried to talk about this in a previous video in doing one of these, and I realized that to do it justice, to fully cover absolutely everything that I want, every tiny minutia of detail, this video would stop being about what's coming up this month, and it would actually be a full focus on Ordeal Call itself and the upcoming class system and stuff like that. Not class system, class score. So I'm planning to save that for a later video in terms of going over into more details, but I'll give the basic overview about what's coming. First of all, there's going to be a new type of material called the Storm Pods. You'll only get it when you clear Ordeal Call 0, so if you're a new player, you won't start collecting these. I'm sorry. Apparently some parts of my sickness are still kind of around. But anyway, after you clear Ordeal Call 0, you'll be given 3 of these automatically. And then every day, as a daily login, you'll get 3. But you can only hold up to 9 of them, and you use these on the free quest and main I don't know if they're called main quest, but you use them on the quest on Ordeal Call, the Bleached Earth, and you have to use them. This is their way of making you be able to do the event without having to power rush them by just using a bunch of apples. It makes a little bit more sense as I talk about it, but just know that when you see and start getting these, make sure to always use them so you don't have them, you have always less than 9, I guess. The best way of doing it is to build them up so you don't have to constantly do 3 missions every day or 3 quests every day. Is to save them up so you get 9, and then on that specific day use them all. But you can also do the thing of like just doing 3 random quests every day. You can do that too, whichever way you decide to go for. There'll be new extra missions that come with class score. These are going to be based off of Final Ascension and Bond 6. It goes up to 150 servants for Final Ascension, and for getting units to Bond 6, it's 30. These will give you material. God damn, win moment. Alright, excuse me, I drank some water off screen. I am recovering from a sickness, but I thought that I was perfectly fine. I feel perfectly fine, but I guess there's still some remnants of me coughing and stuff coming from that. I apologize for anyone having to hear my coughing. But let's continue on. So yeah, you get materials from here, and you use these materials on the class system itself. The class score system itself. There's also going to be new missions added based off of something called Torlock, and doing this is basically every servant class has bond levels, and these missions are related to getting a certain bond level with a certain amount of servants. a certain level with a certain amount of servants, a certain number of skill level ups, total shared by those servants, and then you can reach a certain total number of ascensions with those servants. These missions will be added for all the 7 main classes, and then every extra class will be grouped into 2 groups. Group 1 is Ruler, Avenger, Mooncancer, and Shielder, and for Group 2 it's Alter Ego, Foreigner, Pretender, and Beast, obviously because you can't... It'd be harder for... I think there's only about, like, 5 Mooncancers, so it's really tough to probably do a lot of these missions. It makes sense to kind of group them up because there's not as many of the extra classes compared to a lot of the other classes. And then in terms of limited time class score system release master missions, this is you doing free quests on the Bleach Earth 1 time, 3 times, and 6 times. We'll give you some Saint Quartz, some Tea, some 5 EXP, and some Stellar Sand. And then as a game update, we'll go up to a level 170, and then there will be a Noble Phantasm upgrade for Mash in Nahu Mikkalan, which you can find you can get it by clearing a certain quest inside there, and then that will give her an NP upgrade. So the basic thing you need to know is that you get a bunch of stats from doing class score, because class score is you getting a bunch of buffs for all these servant classes that you see here. All 9 of them will get buffed up, with extra 1 and extra 2 being their own kind of thing. Extra 1 has Shielder, Ruler, Avenger, and Mooncancer. Extra 2 has Alter Ego, Foreigner, Pretender, and Beast. Unlock the class score feature through clearing Bleached Earth, and then you unlock Sands and kind of go from there. These are a bunch of buffs. It's important to kind of keep... it's important to take note that these buffs, they're to your account specific. If you're a new player, you won't be doing any of this. But if you're a player who's currently up to date, something to kind of keep aware of is that if you're wondering how it works, if you use a friend, so these give you permanent stat increases to these servant classes. What happens if you use a friend? So your friend, their class score, you use them for that one. So it does kind of matter to kind of keep going for it. So even if you see a friend as a friend of someone being like, oh, I need a DPS unit of some kind, maybe it would be nice to go with the one who has a higher class score, something like that. The extra ones also take a little bit more to unlock, because you have to clear Paper Moon, clear ID, clear a certain fight in the Bleached Earth, clear Archetype Inception, and then clear another fight inside the Bleached Earth. I'm trying to keep the Pretender and Foreigner one vague, just because it's a very specific fight and it's a story spoiler. But you have to fight a certain boss inside there. And in terms of what you're wondering how these look like and why I'm saving this for a later video, this is kind of what they look like. And then depending on which one you go in here, it requires a lot of materials. And you can see here, this is a 100% a material sink into. A lot of the materials that you see here that are the newer ones, you get them from like these, the Torch of Polar Star, the Torch of Nova, the Torch of the Morning Star. You're gonna get them from the new. Besides doing the certain logins and stuff like that, you'll also get them from clearing Bleached Earth missions, and then in some points you have to clear them in order to kind of do a time lock and kind of go from there. It all sounds very complicated, which is why I'm trying to very briefly explain it. Again, I will hopefully have a video better explaining a lot of it. I'll also leave a Reddit thread where someone very kindly on the FGO Reddit explained it in very nice details that I could understand it better. I read it fully, and I go, okay, I'm gonna need more. I can't dedicate this entire video to just talking about this, so I will just do a video to better help people. But just know that a lot of this is going to be for, if you're a newer player, you don't deal with any of this. If you're a current player, I would suggest really grinding up that lotto to get your QP up and get everything up. You'll still be limited in terms of what you can do because of these storm pods, which is a good sign, which means that you slowly grind it. And it's not a fast grind, but I would really suggest you get your ass to clear Ordeal Call 0 as quickly as you can if you want to start unlocking a lot of these buffs, because it's going to be slow goings. I think eventually they release a quality of life update to make it something better with these storm pods, but it's going to be a bit. That hopefully is enough of an Ordeal Call explanation now. Feel free, if you play the JP version of the game, to leave more info. I play this version of the game on a 2-year delay, so a lot of the stuff related to the story I try and avoid, And for this stuff, I think in my head, when it released, I said, I will worry about this in 2 years' time. It's 2 years' time. It's time to start worrying about it and planning around it and figuring it out. I'll probably try and do the servant buffs for the units that I have level 120, to be 100% honest with you. Anything that makes Quetz stronger or Ibuki stronger sounds good to me. Also, a lot of the quests in this Ordeal Call are also very hard, but that's enough for now. Again, feel free to leave a comment if you want to leave more specific things that people should be aware of, and then that would also help me later so I can give credit where credit's due and say, hey, this person has gone through it and they said you should watch out for this and kind of look for this and do all that kind of stuff. But that's Ordeal Call. That's a big thing happening. When this releases, it will also release with the Paper Moon pre-release campaign, so let's talk about that now. The Paper Moon pre-release campaign, there will be a login bonus, which will feature over 7 days, silver apples and 3 million QP, a bunch of silver foes, 150 mana prisms, 3 silver apples in total. I only said 1 silver apple, there's 3, and 4 golden apples over the 7 days. Limited master missions for you just simply clearing main quests in Arc 1, Arc 2, or Ordeal Call 0, and up to 7 times. And these Lost Belt 7 start and clear missions. This is where you can get 10 Saint Quartz by reaching the finale of the Lost Belt 7, which should be, if you've already done that, you'll automatically obtain all these missions as complete. But if you haven't finished them, make sure to finish it in time so you can get that sweet, sweet 10 Saint Quartz. Other campaigns that will be happening during it: 0 AP for main quest in Arc 1 and Arc 2, up to Avalon Lefay, 1/4 AP for main quest for Nahu Mikkalan. The note that they have here is that Hainkyo, Trom, Arc 1.5, and the main interludes are not included in this campaign. After this campaign ends, main quest in Arc 1 and Arc 2, up to Avalon Lefay, will return to this permanent 1/2 AP state. I don't know if that's already in the game, because I wouldn't know and be able to check, but if it isn't and already in there, it's going to be up for this update. 2 times extra. The reason I bring it up is sometimes the NA version of the game gives an update earlier than when JP got it. So sometimes I'm not sure when I'm looking back on these, especially for these quality of life updates for things where it's like, okay, well, that's cool. I can never actually check it myself because I finished Arc 1 and Arc 2 up to Avalon Lefay a long time ago. 2 times chance for Great and Super Suck when leveling up servants. Only if you cleared Ordeal Call 0, though. And then the same is true for 1/2 AP for Ember Gathering. Only if you have cleared at Ordeal Call 0. Okay? And then there'll be a summoning banner, which will feature Nidocris Altar, Kukula Khan, and Talak. Really good banner. This was going to be my follow-up banner if I missed out in Cuckoo early on. But thankfully, I have mine at MP5, so I don't have to worry about this banner at all, unless I wanted to go for MP6 and get the sweet medals for a pen stuff. But I'm not really feeling the need to do that right now. In terms of a new player, this is actually a very good banner, like I said beforehand, because Kukula Khan is a very good foreigner, one of the best. Nidocris Altar, even though she's limited, and next year in October, you'd be able to use a 5er select SSR on her. That doesn't change the fact that she's really cool, really good, and probably most people would want her now, and not a year and a couple months, not even a couple months, a year and 6 months. There you go. It's a long wait for sure when you put it in that way, but very nice. And then obviously we should hopefully have a live stream talking about the pre-release going up with it too, hopefully. And then Paper Moon chapter release. I will talk about the summon banners on here, not too much story stuff. In terms of story stuff, I will hopefully save it for when I actually get to do the story myself. I have to go through Lost Belt 7 real quick. Well, real quick, I still have to read everything because I read everything for it. But I want to be up to date for the upcoming Ordeal Call so I can start doing them from the start and be able to do Paper Moon and the long-waited Ordeal Call as well. Figure out something to do with that. But anyway, in terms of story spoilers, you won't hear anything from me because I don't know anything. If you consider character names a spoiler, then I would suggest to use the little markers down below and skip ahead to wherever you'd like, because they should go up to the end of Paper Moon. Now, I won't be talking much about Paper Moon when I get to talking about 28 million downloads campaign. So go feel free to do that right now. In terms of the summoning campaign, there will be 3. One that features Bhima and forgive me, Lord, for this name. Duryodhana. I'm going to assume that's correct. If I'm wrong, forgive me about that. Feel free to correct me on how to say it correctly. I will try my best to say it. And along with them come craft essences that are not on rate up, but are just permanently in it. Elevator of Penitence, the Labyrinth of the Lost Flowers in Bloom, and the Dreams of the Crimson Illegitimate Daughter, which is an insane name for a craft essence, but hell of a name for sure. In terms of Bhima and Duryodhana, they are both story locked, which is like being limited, but much more annoying, which means they usually don't get featured on that many banners, and when they do, it's always very bad banners when you really should not be summoning on them. It super sucks. You're lucky if you ever see them in an event where you can at least get event CEs that will help you with grinding. Usually, you don't get that kind of luck, and they always get thrown into story banner and lost to the void. Take this as somebody who has a favorite who is a story lock servant. They never show up when you want them to, and when they do, it's always during the worst periods of time where you should be summoning for something. The next summon campaign related to this is one that features Kama, Longling Wong, Gils de Reyes Saber, and Gils de Reyes Caster, who is also story locked. Kama is limited and the other 2 are not in any capacity. You can always get them in any case. Kama's still really good single target assassin. Still the only one I really use. And I think that's probably true for JP. Didn't they give her like an insane buff? If I remember correctly. Let me check. Yes, to her Noble Phantasm. If I remember right. What is the difference here? Yes, okay. There we go. It's the deal 150% to a charmed enemy when she's already insane at being able to give charm. A really, really good unit. Anyway, and future-proof for the most part if you're looking for single-target quick assassins. And then a Summoning Campaign 3, which will feature Durga, who is an archer, who is also limited, and Duryodhana as well, if in case you wanted to still try and go for him after missing Bhima or something like that. I will definitely be doing a video going for Durga, and my brother will also likely be joining me. He's the one who told me don't summon for the current banner, because we need to save some for Durga, and he was 100% correct on that one. You usually don't need the banner CEs for when you're grinding Lotto, because you will quickly get every material and only focus on the Lotto stuff, so at least I can make sense going for Durga. So that will be coming up. Look forward to that. Plan accordingly and stuff like that. We are getting very close to anniversary, which means I probably won't be going as all out as I would like to go, especially because there will also be a banner that will feature on it, but that's not going to stop me from trying, because I definitely would like her now and not have to wait for later. Okay, and now we'll go to the 28 million downloads campaign. I think it's pretty likely to still happen in this month of May, but if it doesn't, it will happen in very early June. The only reason I'm not bringing, the only reason I think it's likely still end of May is that they were very clear that Mystic Eye Symphony is early in June. So that means that they would try and make it so they don't collide in some kind of capacity. Even if this doesn't go last, it's likely that Advanced Quest Part 16 is actually the last. But we'll go for 28 million downloads just to be sure. So 28 million downloads campaign. A login bonus that will feature over 10 days. On day 1, it's 10 silver apples and 3 Stargazer's teapots. I don't know why I always forget the name of these damn teapots. It's always like right there on the screen for me to see, and I always forget it. On day 2, it's 10 golden apples and 100 mana prisms. On day 3, 10 million QP. On day 4, 10 5 EXP and more Stargazer's teapots. On day 5, 10 silver foe for both types. On day 6, 10 5 EXP and 100 mana prisms. On day 7, it is golden foes for both attack and HP. 8 days of mana prism and some more teapots. On day 9, it's a lore, and then on day 10, it's 30 Saint Quartz. So make sure that when this download campaign goes up, you log in every single damn day. Limited daily mission reward supplements. They'll make it so you'll get a teapot after clearing all daily missions on the current day. Up to a total of 14 of them, you'll get them, and these will last for quite a bit. Obviously, we can't look at this time. It will be better when we look at when it comes out for us, and we look accordingly right there. Limited master missions, bond point gain missions. So because of the upcoming, or the because of the Ordeal Call coming up, suddenly it really matters to get your dudes to bond 6. Usually, even me, I usually stop at bond 5 for most units if I'm not super crazy using them. But no, they want you to get bond 6 for a lot of dudes. So they will give you more incentive to get more bond gains, and that will give you some St. Quartz and Visionary Flames for doing so. Not to say that you have to get those specific ones, but yeah, they'll say in general, get them bond points. A limited Da Vinci's Workshop, which is the same as it always is whenever we do one of these, with the most important thing to take note of, the 5 tickets that you can get for 100 mana prisms. Make sure to pick those up. And just like the regular Mana Prism shop, rare Mana Prisms that you can get as well, including Golden Foes, the Footprint, the Code Openers, the Code Removers, my bad. And then there will be a permanent Da Vinci Workshop CE added, which is going to be Beyond the Rain Clouds, which is an increase to friend points gained when using a friend support by 5. It's stackable. And Mystic Code EXP gained up to 1%. When you get a max limit break, it is 25 and 5%. So not the craziest CE, but it is very, very, very nice art for sure. And then if you somehow miss out on it, then it's fine. You can use a rare Mana Prisms, and it'll be added to the Mana Prism shop permanently. Oh wait, is this already added? I don't know. I was like, did they already add this? No, they didn't yet. It says right here, release date. Unless I was wrong. Oh, they already added this. Never mind. I'm dumb. Just because the effect is so bad, I completely forgot. So if you missed out on it, feel free to pick it up again and get it from there. If I'm wrong on that, forgive me. My brain not thinking at 3:48 a.m. at night. Anyway, the other campaigns all featured on here. Bond points gained up 20% when you going on Ember Gathering and into the Treasure Vault, which is very nice. Applicable to all servants. Ember Gathering, 1/2 AP, servant EXP in every class origin opened all days. Into the Treasure Vault will also have 1/2 AP for QP. Artoria Pendragon, the Ruler. Summer Ruler will be able to be used as an NPC servant in those Ember Gathering and Treasure Vaults. For a limited time, Servant and Crafty XP leveling, Great and Super Suck Chance ×2 if you want to start making CE bombs. And then all Interludes and Strengthening quests will be 1/2 AP, along with there being a summoning, which will feature all the Saber Summers that you can imagine. Not all of them, but a decent amount of them. Summer Ruler and Okita J. Soji, along with the Raid Up Craft references of Poolside Bar, Ladies and Gentlemen, and Yan Tan Tethera. Summoning campaign that features Artoria Rider and Mysterious Heroine XX, Midsummer Moments, Kingdom Joker Jack, and Caldea's Beach Volleyball. And then the final summoning campaign, which features the original Summer Saber and her Summer Son, Mordred Rider, along with Raid of Craft Essences, the Knights of the Marines, the Meat Wars, and the Void's Refuse Shaved Ice. And that is what it's looking like for the month of May. Oh, and yeah, Advanced Quest Part 16, let me quickly say. So the 3 CEs that will be added for this one are going to be a Root Gear and Fang 1. So those 3 new fights will be added, and make sure to do them if you want to get St. Quartz for round anniversary times. And I'll hopefully cover this a little bit later on. I still plan to talk about all those advanced quests, and I'm quickly running out of time as anniversary gets closer and closer. So, that's what's looking like for May. A very probably chill month if you're not caught up to the story. And then if you are caught up to Ordeal Call, you're going to be dealing with a lot of the Ordeal Call stuff for the vast majority of the month. It's going to be, but besides that, and even then you could probably slow grind a lot of things. It's a pretty chill month. No real event that goes on. The real event that's going to happen next is going to be Mystic Eye Symphony, and that's going to be happening in the beginning of June, just because they told us it would happen early June. I don't expect them to move that up in any kind of capacity. Also, the Strange Fake Whispers of the Broadcast commemorative campaign is likely not to happen, just because I think we already have it, and also because it'd be weird to do one of these based off of an old 2-year-old broadcast event. We likely would get whatever St. Quartz that would get this. There wasn't even any St. Quartz. If we don't already have these in here, then they'll give us to it or whatever. They'll figure out some way, is what I'll say. yeah, it's gonna be looking a little bit funky as we get ready to start for anniversary. Anniversary is getting pretty damn close at this point. Basically, just 2 months away or so. Yeah, 2 months away, because we're about to go into early May. Then we have all of June, and then right at the end of June, we're going to be going into July, and July 5th is when the anniversary is going to be happening. Crazy times for sure. So, that's the end of the video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below about anything I mentioned, anything I may have missed. You don't have to worry about leaving a comment about being wrong about that CE. I caught myself, but if you didn't finish the video and you immediately went to go correct me the second you saw that, actually, we already had this CE. We're just getting a trade limit for it. Well, don't you look silly now. Almost as silly as I did when I got that completely wrong and wasted a couple minutes on it. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. I promise I'm going to be doing the Ilya event stuff. I didn't realize it was this close to the end of the event, at the end of the month, so I had to get this video out before it actually became May. But thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I wish you all the best of luck in whatever summons you end up doing. Until next time, goodbye. Peace.